Russia had not yet made their major move. But when that happened, three things began to take place that are in the book. And I'm not going to go into detail of these because we'd run out of time immediately. Number one is food shortages. When they began to talk about that the Black Sea was locked up and you couldn't get things in and out, the fertilizer that comes from Russia and the Ukraine that comes to the United States,
right.
Our fertilizer prices have gone up so high that in Tennessee, they're not farming. They're not trying to, they can't farm. They can't afford to farm and sell because it's gone up and they can't get it. All right, that's point one. And that was my dad's dream of a food shortage in America before he ever passed away.
Right.
And again, that'll be part of the story you'll read. The second thing was a nuclear tower. Now, Pam will remember this from many years ago.
Pam is your lovely wife.
Yes, she's over there in the audience, my lovely dear wife. There were nuclear towers, cooling towers, and I saw them and I looked and they started spinning like a tornado. When they did, I'm in a field, and the field can represent the world in the parables of the Bible, and I see the bulls. I mean, they look like Texas Longhorns. They are bulls, and they are running massively. I see what they look like. I see the type of skin they have, and all of a sudden, I realize that's the stock market. It is going under because of what's happening at these towers. Wow. Well, and again, I'm abbreviating it quite a bit just to give you the basics. Well, all of a sudden, we start hearing that there is a nuclear power plant in the Ukraine, that Putin is even threatening to do something there to cause a nuclear disaster. Now, that sounds like something in a movie that would never happen, but who knows? But I do know there's something connected. I also think it could be an Israeli attack on Iran on their nuclear program, and that would cause problems as well, right?
Right.
Because
they're not going to let them have a weapon.
No, you cannot afford to let them.
Because they promised to destroy Israel if they get
well,
one.
and the United States. I mean, we're the big Satan. They call Israel the little Satan.
Yeah.
And you can't allow that to happen.
And wasn't there some kind of drill they just did?
Oh, I think they're always doing
like
drills.
Chariots of Fire, I think it was called.
Yeah.
In preparation for some of the things we're talking about.
Yeah, and Israel does drills when you don't know they're doing drills.
They're always doing drills.
They're always doing.
Yeah.
When you hear all these planes flying all over the place, you know they're practicing for something.
Yeah.
And so that was something. Now,
so the farming, the food shortage,
the spinning towers,
and the nuclear, and then what was the third
and
one?
the biggest one. And how much time do I have? Because I don't want to run out of time.
You have plenty of time.
Do I?
Yeah.
Joni says we have plenty of time, ladies and gentlemen. You all heard it. All in the studio heard it. Okay.
That's right.
The most bizarre thing that ever happened to my family, me or my father, period, was in Troutman, North Carolina. And look, my hair stands up every time I talk about this. It just gives me that, He was asleep in the bed, pastoring a small church there, and a man stood in the doorway about 3 a.m. and said, Reverend Stone. And he woke up, but he thinks he's dreaming, or maybe he's seeing a vision. He said, would you please give me a few moments to talk to you? I've been sent with a message. And Dad said, okay, just a minute, if you wait out in the little area there, which was the living room. So Dad put his robe on. He thought, boy, this is strange. So once again, he thinks maybe I'm just having a vision or something. So he saw a man in a suit at 3 a.m. And he said, I can't describe him in detail. It's a little bit dark in the room, but I can see him. So I walk to my office. He follows me. He stands outside the door and talks to me without coming in the office. He stands up. Dad said, I sit down. I take a piece of paper. He said, I want you to write, the Soviet nuclear submarine services will eventually strike the United States of America. This man goes into the most vivid detail of the type of weapon, the submarines, where they are, how far they are, how they are hidden in barrier reefs, how that they take Russian shrimp trawlers and put them over these areas. The subs get under there and they surface, and those in the sub dress casual and get on boats and do R&R in certain islands of the Caribbean. Because they think they're they're fishermen. He also gave the code name, which I'm not going to give on national news. I said national. This is national news in a different way. But anyway.
On the national good news.
Yeah, national good news. The good news, the real news.
Yeah.
And so he then described to him the cities they were going to hit. There'd be 4 major cities. And what they were going to do, they believed, this is what the man said, 40 years ago this year. And he said it would be a Russian attack, but he said they believe that the United States administration is so weak. Now think about that 40 years ago.
Yeah. Wow.
When that they will capitulate. They do not want a nuclear war. They do not go to they won't do it. They were not going to go to war. So we will sign a contract with them and say we can never let this happen again. So they're believing the United States will capitulate because they want the farmland in the United States. And
so what about Bill Gates buying all the farmland?
Well, it's interesting. It's not just farmland; it's the water too.
Buying the water.
There's another man, not Bill. Now he may be, but there's another man that I won't name that they've already told me that in the Midwest, every aquifer he's getting a hold of it. He's buying the property anywhere there's an aquifer. The point is, they know what's coming, and anyone who's wealthy in the billionaire level that knows what's coming, if you've noticed, they put their money where it will go 2, 3, 4 years from now. And they know that the food situation is going to be serious. All it would take, for example, is the new Madrid fault line, and you cut off everything from the food supplies of the Midwest and West to the East Coast.
So you're saying this submarine thing hasn't happened yet?
The man said to my dad, there's one man in Washington, D.C., I want you to tell everything I've told you. And again, I've never felt free to release the man. Dad would never let me mention the man's name. And this is 40 years ago. He said, write him a letter. He'll be the only person that will believe that I've talked to you. And he said, but who are you? He said, that's not important. So my dad said, as he wrote I have the original paper that Dad wrote this on.
Wow.
When he wrote it down, my dad started weeping, just convulsively. And he went up to find this man, and every door was locked in the house, and he wasn't there. And one of the things he did say was that Russian students had come to the United States, to the universities, and had taken the maps, the sea maps of the sea lanes, and all the information related to some of our universities, and photographed them, and that's how they knew exactly where to go, how deep it was, where they were located was from the maps that the students had taken. But I'm giving you the light version, you know.
Yeah.
But my point is, I had someone tell me I cannot give names, places, identity, or the department they're with, but they did visit me and they did say to me, we're very concerned, and we're talking about now this year, we're very concerned about the winter in Europe, the way it's going. We're concerned also about Russia and their winter as well under the sanctions. Yeah. Because if there's an attack on the United States, and I want to tell you what they said to me, it would be New York City, and that would be the main city that would be attacked, which is considered the economic center of the United States. And it would be sometime this winter.
Well, before you leave, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, we would love to hear how the Lord is moving and touching your heart right now. So be sure to comment below and then share this video